engaging content. I'm joined by Melissa Orchard. Welcome, Melissa, Global Media Strategy and Brand Experience Innovation Director at Unilever. And Hakan, welcome Hakan, Instagram handle Honka, digital content and sound creator. Melissa, let's start with you and Unilever. We know that creators play a significant role in localizing the communication idea for global brands like Unilever. We also know that creators are actually the native speakers of Reels on our platforms, and now Reels is more than 50% of time spent on Instagram. How do you fit creator strategy into your overall brand strategy?
Yeah, creators play a crucial role for both Unilever's brand and social strategy, now more than ever before, as we look to drive our new marketing transformation strategy, Social First Demand Generation, which looks to embed brands in social culture and to drive demand, but also conversion. Creators are modern day storytellers and build content that drives high engagement with high impact with audiences of interest. Now, while our global brands work to build brand worlds that are rooted in deep consumer truths, creators help us create content that is locally relevant and lands our brand message in a unique and creative way, helping to support the performance of brand in local markets.
Is there an example that you would want to share with us?
Yes, recently we have a great example from our Knorr brand in France, where we looked to launch a range of barbecue seasoning called Secret d'Âme. And we worked with a range of creators to help us create a diverse range of content to showcase how you could use this product to be able to get a new take on your barbecue classics. And working with creators really helped us build content that was locally relevant for French people and how they barbecued with their classic meals. It was a great way for us to drive trial and attract new consumers.
You said creative diversification. That's important because we know that actually when you have a diverse set of assets, you will have better reach, better efficiency, and better delivery. And that's why actually we always recommend not to have like one asset, but like different assets with different POVs, different story types, different hooks. Because even though like we love and buy the same product, we can love it for different reasons, right? So you mentioned diversity, and that is totally on point because we know that creative diversification actually drives better results, better reach, and incremental efficiency as well. Because even though we love the same product and we buy it, we can love it like for different reasons, right? So it is important to have a diverse set of assets to be able to reach different audiences. And creators do it best because they have different styles, they have unique POVs. So how do you avoid a copy-paste approach when it comes to creating a creator strategy?
We work really carefully to identify creators that we work with for our brands, thinking through what our brands stand for, what the campaign needs to do, but then also having a look at the creator, their content, their communities, and sort of linking that to the passions, the interests, and the actions that we're trying to drive for the brand. So yeah, we pay careful attention to that and really work together to align these pieces to drive impact by leveraging creators. We pay very careful attention to identifying the creators that we work with, really thinking through the brand, what the brand stands for and what the brand is trying to do. And then having a look at the creator, their content, their creativity, the communities that they connect with, likes, passions, interests, and work really hard to align these things to create content that's going to drive high impact. Our brands have really well established attributes that live in the minds of consumers. So when we work with creators, we really need to strike a strong balance between the creativity of the creator and helping to magnify the power of the creativity with what the brand is trying to land in terms of brand messaging. So we work in a dialogue with creators to really get a deep understanding about how they will approach the brief and work with them throughout the creative process so that they can seamlessly integrate the brand in a really authentic and unique way in their creativity, but at the same time landing brand messages and brand cues that are well recognized and attributed back to the brand in a way that's authentic.
And we have a creator in the room. Hakan, you have been working with brands for so many years now, actually creating branded content for them, brands like Mercedes, Vodafone. How do you find your balance? Like, how do you integrate brand's message into your creativity?
Yeah, well, I think what you said makes total sense. There's always like this a few key boxes that need to be ticked. Me, for example, since I have like a musical background, I always try to have a musical approach to everything because music is, yeah, equally relevant in my eyes as video. So for me, it's just always a way to try to keep it authentic by having music that authentically fits to whatever asset it is that gets produced.
Totally, because also Reels is an audiovisual experience. And now like 90% of Reels ads are viewed sound on. So sound first approaches are becoming more and more important for brands
Exactly.
as well.
And yeah, for me, that was even a surprise, even though I do work with audio, that I feel, okay, I thought more people would watch it, not with audio, but it's so many people that it just totally makes sense to focus on audio as well. And what you said about keeping the brand's like main campaign or whatever it is in that case that the asset is used for, I feel it's just a few boxes. Like, what's the color world that your brand is in? Send me a CI brief. That's how you use the font and everything, plus the current campaign assets for TVC and out of home. And that's mostly, in my case, enough to then come up with a few ideas to present to the brand to see, okay, now let's take all that and lift it into the social first world.
It's like giving a frame to creators actually for them to put their creativity into that. We sometimes give like different motivators to creators as well because each creator like works on a different like reason to buy the product, so they can actually come up with great diversification as well. So what would be your one key advice for the advertisers like watching us at the moment?
I think it's very important to be brave and to really embrace that it's not an out-of-home campaign or a TVC that gets produced here. It's a social first asset. You already mentioned a lot of it. I feel the core, it comes down to dare to lift your product a bit out of this very carefully built cocoon that a brand has over the years, which is important for many things. And I'm not telling anyone to stop doing their TVC campaigns. It's really, if you think about social, try out a few things that you would not try out on TVCs because of stress, budget, time, and you cannot plan a reel 6 months ahead. That's what I always try to tell people, because it doesn't work that way. The trend is going to be over. It has to be spontaneous. And that's why if you say you pick your creators carefully, that's exactly the way it needs to be. Pick them and then work with them on a regular basis to say, hey, what can we do next week or in 2 weeks? Because that's when the assets are the most authentic, in my opinion.
Thank you. Experiment, learn, and grow. Can we say that?
Yeah, no, 100%. Exactly. That's it. Just dare to experiment. Very important.
Thank you for your valuable key advice, and thanks for joining us and sharing your valuable perspectives with us today.